Dude, how crazy would it be if we started the podcast by like doing some Fortnite dances? Wouldn't that be so epic?
That sounds pretty crazy and trendy. So
you know, like that one, like do 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 do. You know, you know that one. Welcome back, guys. That was pretty coal. That was awesome, dude.
That was really good.
Do
That
one.
From
Fortnite. Do one. Do a dance from Fortnite right now.
Well, I already know the dances.
Do one then.
Okay.
If you know one, do one.
No, I could do it. I'll do it.
We're waiting, dude. We're waiting.
Angel.
That's not it.
Angel. The one I adore. Is that from the?
Isn't Will You Be Mine?
Well, that's the second verse.
I thought it was
from
the first.
Fortnite.
Sorry, you think that's from Fortnite?
Yeah.
No, that's not even close.
That's back to the Fortnite.
That wasn't even a dance. You just snapped.
Well, that was part of it. Was just the whole entertainment ensemble.
Right. So you think that in Fortnite that happens?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I saw it on screen.
Not true. So you were watching Back to the Future and you were playing on the controller like you were playing Fortnite. You thought you were playing Fortnite.
Well, my controller was plugged in. I didn't have to do a lot of the button presses. The characters did stuff themselves.
Did you win? Did you win Fortnite? The Fortnite match you played?
I don't know because I've done it about 5 times. I got the same result every time.
Okay. And what's the result?
Marty goes Back to the Future.
Right. So you think Fortnite is Back to the Future?
Oh. Okay, I'm sorry, I didn't.
They're two. Okay, I'm sorry to do this on the podcast. They're two separate things. One's a movie, one's a game.
Okay.
So do one of the dances from Fortnite. We've played Fortnite together. You can do it.
Getting it back in time.
No, dude, that's Huey Lewis. That's still Back to the Future. You don't. Hey guys, welcome back to the podcast. One thing we wanted to start the podcast out, which the title will include, is we're making some changes to the podcast, and I think they're good ones, and judging by all of your feedback, I think it's a good one for you guys too. And that's, we're doing more of us two and less of guests. We love having guests still, but you want to just chime in a little bit?
Yeah, we just wanted more of a healthy mix. I mean, we kind of came out of the gates with the first month and a half or two, and it was basically guest every time. And we still do have a lot of fun guests lined up. It helps that they're just already our friends.
Yeah.
So, like, they're going to pop by and whatever. But, like, a lot of people, the reaction to just you and me, Eddie, just, like, fucking around and stuff has been so positive.
Yeah.
And, like, yeah, I mean, we'll just keep doing it.
Yeah, we had our old podcast, Okay, I'll Talk, and it was kind of based on just fucking around, and that's what we like to do here too. And we wanted to do that with guests every episode, but totally like understandable for people to comment. It's kind of frustrating if you're coming for a guest and then we're just fucking around and not interviewing the guest at all. Mm-hmm. So like, it's good to have these because these are our favorite thing to do. And I still love having guests, but I like us fucking around a lot.
Yeah, no big shift, but it'll just be more casual. There will be more Gus and Eddie episodes than we initially anticipated, but that's great.
Yeah,
it works
and
out.
I'm assuming they'll be titled something like the topics we're talking about. So if you see topics, that's the boys fucking around.
That's not our guests. Those aren't their names.
No, we're not gonna. It's not gonna be Fortnite dances. Aren't gonna be our guests.
That would be impractical.
It'd be impressive though. It'd be really cool if we could get them on.
It would be pretty dank though.
Big fan. What were you gonna say?
I went home this weekend.
Yeah, you
did. Back to Wisco, Wisconsin.
How was it? We haven't really talked about it much.
Yeah, no, it was great. I just got back a few hours ago. Well, I'm tired as shit, too. I just have not slept in the last week. I had to take 2 red-eye flights, one there, one back. And, of course, just fucking Spirit and Frontier can go die in a hole. Like, they're just the worst ever. Most of the times I've flown, like, Spirit or Frontier, there have been delays and shit. And that was the same fucking thing. We missed our connecting flight, all like dumb garbage.
Yeah, I just avoid connectings altogether because of our VidCon experience. It was the first time I'd ever done it, and I was like, when we booked them, I remember we were thinking, why would anyone not do connecting flights if it's so much cheaper? Because you miss them. I didn't realize until we missed them.
Oh, pure nightmare. Yeah. No, our flight got delayed by 3 hours initially, and then it was like,
shit.
And like their customer service is not great too. Like we just went up to the gate agent, like, and we're just like, hey, our flight's a few hours late. What are we gonna do with the connecting flight? And he just goes, yeah, you're not gonna make that connecting flight. And it's just like, okay, fucker, our day's kind of ruined.
Jesus.
At least the least you could do is just not smile about it. You
Yeah.
know? I hate that stupid shit.
I love when I see customer service type things where they try and keep a smile, but they're breaking bad news. It's like, it's more human if you were just like, hey, man, I'm sorry. Instead of being like, sir, there's nothing we can do. I spit in your Chipotle burrito, and you're just going to have to buy it. I'm so sorry.
Did I tell you about that GameStop employee thing last time?
You told me about it, but I don't know if that's the podcast. And there's already the top comment was us talking about that. You might have.
Yeah, it was just a shitty kid. There's no new information or whatever. I went to trade in my old PS4, and I was just like, hey, can you accept this? He's like, there's no charge cable. I was like, oh, well, do you guys have a charge cable for sale here? And I thought he said yes. And he's like, he said that, actually.
Wow.
And I was like, okay, well, I'll just buy a charge cable. He's like, dude, I just told you we do not have charge cables. I can't take this. And he's like smiling. Just some fucking skinny teenage kid that didn't want to work,
Yeah. Punch him right in the face, honestly.
I'll strike. I like to initiate the assault just to kind of get the upper hand on him.
Yeah, I prefer if it's teenagers because they don't fight back.
Yeah, and they're underage, so they can't be tried as adults.
So it's a good thing for them when they fight back.
Yeah, it's the best.
You're a real noble person.
It's the best. Yeah, have I missed any customer experience shit when I'm gone?
I had just more of the Postmates shit, man. It's like, I understand. I actually like it. It's entertaining, and also I get free meals out of it because it was a simple one this time. If this is your first episode or hearing anything about Postmates, I have an ongoing battle with Postmates drivers where they just do crazy shit. And the reason is because I get it so much. It's my fault for getting that many deliveries. Obviously things are going to go wrong, especially with something like Postmates where it's different places, different it's a city they deliver to, so it's not everywhere where they're used to, But this last one I just got Chipotle. And I waited like an hour, and the guy was maybe 2 minutes from our place. And then it said he's arriving soon. And then it was just like, hey, he's at not even he's at your address. It said, don't forget to rate and tip him. And I was like, what? And I look, and he just marked it as a delivery.
What?
So then I just waited. I was like, I don't want to give this guy a bad rating. I don't want to not give him a tip and then have him show up and have the food. So I waited at the door for 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And he just never showed up. So then I had to mark it as like, hey, Postmates, I just never got it.
Yeah.
And they were like, okay, here's, we'll refund you, and then here's like $10. So then I just reordered Chipotle and got it like an hour later. But
damn,
it was just like, I love the thing with these people that deliver for Postmates. If you're a Postmates delivery driver, I'm sure they already know this if they're listening to our stuff, because the people that do it, I feel like wouldn't watch our content, but that would fuck up that stuff. But they have access to my phone number every time. So like, say this guy was, headed here and he couldn't figure the place out. Instead of just going, it's there, call me. That's the thing. It's like, I'll have people call me, Postmates drivers call me all the time and be like, hey, I'm so sorry, they don't have this right now. Can I get you something to substitute it? Or like, how do I find your place? And everything like that. And then some people just go like, well, I could just make this problem go away real fast by marking delivered. And it's like, that's going to fuck you over, because then Postmates has to pay attention to that you didn't deliver something.
Yeah.
I talk too much about Postmates on the podcast.
No, it's fine, though, because it's weird, because it's not just about Postmates. It's about, like, people. It's like, what is going on? I've noticed that, too, with Postmates. You've had more issues than I have, but, like, I've not had any other, like, kind of service industry job where just more people tend to be like, I don't know, fuck me, I guess, and just, like, kind of give up.
Same with Lyft and Uber. Well, the first time we came to LA together, we were like going to the place we were staying, and it was a big confusing area, and we didn't know it either. And our Lyft driver was really friendly and nice, but then when she couldn't figure it out, she's just like, hey, I already scheduled another ride. Is it all right if I just drop you guys off here in the middle of nowhere where you guys don't know where you are? And we were like, I don't know. And she's like, well, I already accepted another ride, so I really got to go.
Yeah, she's like, please, like, if I don't take it, like, Lyft will give me, like, bad ratings. It's like, we're going to give you a bad rating.
Yeah, exactly. And we did. We got her, and we gave her a bad rating because she left us, and we had to ask, like, people in the neighborhood, like, hey, do you know where this is so we can find our place?
Yeah.
We were that far from it. So, yeah, it's just like, it would be, if you're any of these like internet service job things and you're afraid of getting a bad rating for the next thing you're doing, still you got to pay attention to this one, because then you're going to get 2 bad ratings.
Yeah, that's so true. It's like, and also I think I've maybe, after the dozens and dozens, I've probably taken at least 100 Lyft rides or Uber rides.
Oh, we've definitely topped that for sure. Yeah.
I have only not given 5 stars probably 3 times
Same.
ever, and
Yeah.
she was one of them.
She was one of them for sure.
And one of them was an accident. I felt fucking horrible because I accidentally gave a guy a 0-star rating, and it was just a complete accident, and I could not figure out how to reverse it.
I know you were talking about the new version of Lyft. Are you sure you just didn't? Did you click something near 0, or did you just click and like you confirmed it before you gave a rating?
I clicked through it, so I did not actively click any stars.
I don't think that gives them a 0
Okay,
star.
thank God.
I thought that it did that, and then I had it happen to me, and I was like, you don't, because I don't think you can give someone 0 stars. I think you have to give them a 1. So I think they
Okay.
don't get a rating. Because
Okay.
I think it would be a huge flaw in their app if it was like, yeah, if you just click the check button, they're fucked. So yeah, I don't think you gave them a 0 rating. So
Okay, good.
you can sleep tonight like a little baby ass.
Good. I only got 2 of them then, but like, yeah, goddamn it, I hate that shit. Oh, dude. I went back home to my college town this last week, and I visited some friends and stuff. I went to my home and my college home. But I've wrapped up the ID girl saga.
Really?
Yes.
I've never
talked
talked about it because it was in between our podcasts.
It was,
awesome.
yes. So for those of you that don't know, I went to college in just kind of like a smaller town in Wisconsin. But I started noticing towards the end of my college there, I went in, and one time I went to Walmart, and I just got a little 6-pack of beer. And I went to the checkout, and there was a young girl. She looked to probably be about maybe 19 or 20 or so. And I give her my ID. She takes my ID, and she just sort of looks up and down at me. And typically when people ID you, it's like, yep, there's your birthday. Some of them don't even look this. Yup.
Yeah, they just need the number to enter into the system, especially at Walmart.
Yeah, just you're in and out. And she looks, and she's squinting and looking at my face and looking at the ID. And it's genuine. It's like 20 seconds. I was like, is there a problem? And she goes, I'm sorry. I just don't think this is you. And I was like, what? She's like, this just doesn't look like you. I was like, it's me.
Yeah.
It's me. I took off my hat. I was like, it's me. And usually, like, I'm so patient with that kind of shit, like service stuff, but I was just so baffled. Like, who just takes your ID? I had the same fucking haircut. It was from like a couple years ago. I'm just like, that's not you.
Yeah.
Like, you're holding it to your face. I was like, that's me.
Yeah, because what other defense do you have in that situation? Like, what else can you tell them other than that's the proof? You're looking at it. There's nothing else I can give you other than, hi, I'm that picture. I'm that picture moving around and walking.
Yeah, that's me. She's looking at it, and I said, like, and I was like, well, it's me. I don't know what to tell you. She's like, I just don't think it's you. And I was like, look at the card right now. She looks at it. I was like, date of birth. And I gave her, like, there's my date of birth. Here's, like, the weight on it, the eyes and shit. And she's like, I don't know. I was like, how would I know that? I just came up with that. Like, how would I fucking know that information if you didn't? And she's like, I'm sorry. I need to get my supervisor. And, like, she, like, radios in. I'm standing there for, like, 5 minutes. The lady comes over.
Which is embarrassing, by the way, especially when you're near 21, because you're just like, I got my fucking ID. Like, I was like, I'm fine. People look at you like you're a high schooler or something trying to get away with it. But
yeah.
Go ahead.
And then, like, the manager comes over. She's like, takes one look. She's like, yeah, it's him. Sell him the beer. Like, just instantly. So she does it. So I was so baffled by that. So then the next time I went into Walmart, like, probably 3 days later.
Dude, I remember you told me and you called me the next day, like, dude.
Yeah.
Like, just so you know, it was right after.
It was right away. And I was like, I went in. She was working again. So I was like, I'll see what happens if I get beer again. So I went and I got beer again.
For the story, because it's funny.
Just for the story. And at this point, like, I wasn't kind of angry anymore. The first one, I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? But now I was like, let's do some Bill Nye the Science Guy type shit, boys. So I went in there. I got
He's
the
not
beer.
a detective.
I don't know. He's got a lot of career left. But I went in there. I got the beer. Handed it to her. Same fucking thing. 20 seconds at least. She's like, and she said again, she's like, I'm sorry. It just... I don't think this is you.
Oh, my God, dude.
And I was like, do you remember me? She goes, what? I said, we did this 2 days ago. That's me. You sold me the beer. We did this last time. She goes, I'm sorry. I need to call over my supervisor. Calls her over again. I shit you not. I went back probably 4 days later. She did it a third fucking time. And at this point, I was so amused.
Yeah.
I was like, what is going on in this girl's brain? Like, is there some sort of, like, disorder where you can't, like, recognize facial features?
I don't know, but she shouldn't be carding someone
No.
if she has it, because that's the worst. That's a nightmare job if you have that disorder.
Yeah, and I felt bad because she was, like, really quiet and she seemed kind of nervous, but it's like, can you imagine? I can't imagine. I'm sure there are people that are, like, less patient than me that are just like, hey, fucking asshole, like, it's me. Like, how many people's days she just ruins from this? She does it fucking a third time, and the third time I said, I've been in here, this is my third time this week. I said, do you do this for everybody? Like, do you do this forever? She's like, I just, it doesn't look like you. She always kept just saying, I don't think it's you. It doesn't look like you.
I love the idea that if she did remember you, she's like, this guy keeps scamming my supervisor, and it's just not him.
Yeah. So I go on the fucking 4th time, and I do the thing again, and she takes it. And the thing is, like, I have 2 IDs in my wallet. One was my very first ever probationary license. I was like, I didn't want to throw it out. I just keep it. It's an old voided driver's license.
Yeah, I kept my voided driver's license too.
Yeah, just stick it in there.
Yeah.
So I'm handing her the ID, and again, all of this is taking place within a span of like 2 weeks, maybe. I hand her the ID, and she goes, whoa, hold on. I was like, what? She goes, you have 2 IDs. I was like, no, I don't. She goes, yes, you do. Open up your wallet. And I was like, what? She goes, open your wallet. I saw another ID in there. You can't have 2 IDs. I was like, I don't have 2 IDs. I just have, this is my active ID. She's like, no, you have 2 IDs. And I was like, no, this is my first driver's license.
Was there a hole in it?
Yeah, it's fucking stamped. It says void on it. I said, look, it says void. It's not my ID.
You can carry that if you want. That's why for mine, they put a hole, but if they put a void on it, like, that's why they put it there.
Yeah,
so
it's a hole. Void is a hole.
Yeah.
Like,
okay,
void. Yeah. They did that too when they did that. But she's like, you can't carry that. I was like, this is my old license. She goes, you're not supposed to have 2 IDs. I was like, what do you want me to tell you? This is my ID. The whole fucking thing again.
Yeah.
I was like, what the hell is going on with this shit? But anyway, I was just so baffled. And then I came back to town, and thank God she was working again. And now months have gone by. It's like, let's see if she got better at all. And she did not do it. So she has grown.
Oh, there we go. She's helped her problems, and she cured herself of the disorder, and now she can work the job.
What the fuck was that, though?
I don't know,
Do you
man.
think she was just hesitant to, like maybe she sold underage shit before and got in trouble or something? And
maybe, but, dude, I don't know. Maybe she's just nervous, and, like, the thing is, there's no excuse to do it to somebody, like, twice or 3 times in a 2-week span. Because the thing is, like, I know she sees a ton of people move through Walmart, but you'd think you'd remember that.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I have no explanation for what happened.
I do not get that at all. Yeah. But, yeah. It really do be like that sometimes.
It really, really do. Thanks, guys, for listening to the podcast. Should I mention any of the YouTube stuff at all this week?
Sure.
I don't know what the fuck's been happening with my channel, but it just, like, started... You know what I'm saying? That's going to be really great for audio listeners.
Doing that.
That was it. Really, just, like... if anyone's new and listening to the podcast from the small channel spike I had, welcome. I'm sorry you already want to leave.
Thanks for joining us.
That's about it with that bit. I just wanted to mention it on the podcast.
Oh, yeah. I'll double down on a little YouTube-y thing. I uploaded today. I'm sure if you're watching my stuff that you've seen it, but about that SNL thing or whatever. So if you haven't seen my upload or whatever, I just super short. I put out a video called like every episode of America's Got Talent a few months ago. And then this last episode of SNL, they put out like a super similar sketch. And a shitload of people, like, thank you for, like, coming and like, having my back and stuff. But, like, too many people were like, Gus, they fucking stole your video idea. And it's like, they might have, but they probably didn't. Like, I don't know. It's just it's kind of a low-hanging fruit joke.
I would say they didn't.
Like, I assume they didn't.
Not even a might, probably. Because it's just like, it's not... That is, you have a really good talent of making like a lot of memes that are just like super instantly relatable but unique to you. And I think that that one of those jokes like is just, I mean, that those singing shows have been so common for so long.
Yeah, if it were a different joke, then maybe. But it's like I'm sure dozens of people have had this idea in the past. But like, I don't know. Thanks for tweeting at me, but don't. Because I saw a couple people who were like, let's go spam it with downvotes and stuff. I was like, don't do that. Like, also, I kind of would like to work there, so I don't want to be tied to like, fuck you.
Yeah, that stuff backfires sometimes. Like, that's how I met Danny Gonzalez, is that we made... I don't know. We have too many conversations in real life and then the podcast where I don't know what happens.
That's the problem, is because we don't see each other for a while and we dump everything. And then when we sit down here, it's another like, let's dump all this stuff.
Yeah,
exactly.
I
already dumped this.
So with Danny, if I've talked about it before, sorry, but what happened was I made a video... on this vlogger guy, and then Danny made one a day later, but he didn't make it a day later. He was making it while I was making it, and I uploaded a day before. And then people just went to him and were like sending him a bunch of hate, like, oh, you fucking stole this from Eddie. And it's like, that's not... Danny was super nice about it. He was like apologetic, even though he knew he didn't like steal it. He's like, I'm so sorry if like you thought I stole this from you or anything like that. And that's like how we met. But it was, guys, if you want to defend someone online, make sure they usually people don't want you to attack somebody, but like make sure it's cool with them before you start attacking somebody on behalf of a YouTuber. Because like then we have to deal with the fallout of like, oh well, they just started fucking shitting on this person and I didn't direction them to do this at all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, that's true. IDK though.
It's just mean.
You know, just go start some beef with some people right now.
Stop being meanies. Who do we start beef with?
I don't know. Who's in our league? Who's someone that we could just shit all over and they probably couldn't fight back?
Probably Nakey Jakey, because he can't. If we hit him with a punch, he'll
Yeah.
just roll off the exercise ball and hit the ground.
I would see that.
He can't really move around much. He can bounce up and down, and my punches are like dodging his head, but that's about it.
You're doing a bit, but that reminded me of the stuff. You ever see like videos online or like hear about articles of like people that get like in just a fight or whatever, and then some guy just clocks a dude and he just falls back and dies on accident or whatever? Like,
yeah.
How scary is that?
That's fucking, yeah, it's crazy that you don't think about it ever, but you could just murder somebody with a punch.
Yeah, there's a documentary. I do not remember what it's called. It's called like One Punch Killer, and it's all these guys that are like have life in prison because it's just like, oh, we were drunk at a bar, some fucking guy pushed me and I punched him and he fell into a wall and hit his head and died. You know,
Jesus.
That happened at my college actually a couple of years ago. Yeah, there was an exchange student, and the thing is, it's the guy that fucking did it is just a piece of shit anyway. Though, like he's just one of those like you could just tell he's just kind of racist, you know, trashy. He's in jail, so. Come at me, you know?
I still wouldn't say that one. Just wouldn't say come at me.
Just kidding, fellas. I wasn't there. I didn't see it. You could have. Maybe you didn't do it.
My eyes are closed. I have no idea what I'm talking about.
It was on Halloween night, like 2 or 3 years ago, at my college, and I was. What the scary thing is, I was physically in the spot where this kid was killed 5 minutes before it happened.
Oh, Jesus.
Genuinely, yes. But I did not see anything. I was a little bozed. I just didn't see the people. I didn't know who any of them were. But it was that kind of situation where it was allegedly what happened was like this guy that ended up killing the exchange student was like walking by or whatever. And the story floating around was like, it was actually kind of like, I don't want to like liken it in significance to like the kind of Emmett Till story, you know, where it's like, oh, this guy like wolf whistled at the girlfriend and he attacked or whatever. But that was like the shitty story going around. But it kind of came out that it's like, yeah, this fucking guy just punched this exchange student. They were drunk and shitty. They didn't know each other. Yeah. But it was like he punched him, went back, hit his head on the wall, and he just died. Fuck. Just fucking horrible. But for everybody involved, you know, but I don't know.
Those are the things that kind of freak me out is when you actually think about dying stuff, of just the fact that like there's a person living and breathing and then in an instant he's just fucking a body. You know what I mean? Like that's crazy to me, especially with a punch. Like imagine just thinking you want to punch somebody and then in an instant they're just dead on the ground. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
I'm asking this with not my own story. You ever like had any close calls, like you almost died or anything like that?
Close calls with death.
I don't think I ever have.
I've had a couple like vehicle things in the past, like especially like with deer and stuff, you know, but where you can't always tell, but it's like you could very well have. Oh, dude, yeah, totally. Actually, this last December, it was a vehicle thing. Like, I totally lost control on the freeway going like 70 in my car. And I was just like, I don't know how the fuck I regained control. You know, I didn't slam on the brakes, I think is what helped. I just kind of like hit off. And it was a Minnesota freeway, and it was just slushy. And luckily, it was like the middle of the night. Nobody was around. I had not been drinking. It just was like I hit a bunch of fucking
winters
slush.
in the Midwest especially, it's like you can just lose control on any part of the road.
That was the scariest 10 seconds ever, because I'm just like, it's that kind of scream again where you're just, where you're just like, I might die here. You know? And I just I made it out.
Mine's not a life thing. That's crazy though that you were going that fast too, and then everything was okay, because you know you could easily like flip the car and everything. Yeah. Like that. Just speaking of that ice stuff, I had one that it wasn't life threatening at all, but just a moment of like a bumper to bumper that you know you don't want that to happen in your day, where you're like, oh fuck, this is about to happen. Where do you remember where I lived before, the Walgreens, like right in there was that like square of a bunch of stores right outside of my neighborhood? Yes. Where there was like a McDonald's and Taco Bell and stuff. So there's a Walgreens, and it was like on an incline going down when you go into the parking lot. And it was last year, a couple of days before Christmas, and we were going to watch like a Christmas movie. So I was like, oh, I'm going to go get some hot chocolate from Walgreens, and then we'll come back. And it was the first day it was like snowing. And it was super light snow, but I know now, like, that's some of the most dangerous shit is because it's not been, like plowed or there's no salt on the ground or anything. It's just slippery. But it seems innocent. So I was driving to that parking lot, and I start to just, like, hit the brakes to turn right on that incline. And somebody's turning out at the same time. And I just realized as I hit the brakes to slow down and turn, I'm like, the brakes are just not working. We're just sliding.
Mm-hmm.
So then I'm going, and I kind of am turning into the parking lot as this person's there, and I'm sliding in the trajectory of I'm just going to slam into the back of their trunk.
Yeah.
So, like, no life-threatening thing for either of us. But one of those moments where you're sliding, and you just go, well, it's going to happen, so let's just embrace it.
Yeah.
And then luckily this person, we must have been like inches from each other, just had the I was going to say footing, but it's a tire, but like they had the grip for it to they just hit the gas a little bit.
Yeah. Where did cameras just fucking die?
What the fuck?
Well, if you're an audio listener, I think one of our audio cameras died. That's a near... Or our camera died. We'll be right back.
What did you say?
I don't know. I was trying to because I was trying to set myself up for a joke. Like, wow, we talk about near-death experience. One of our cameras died. Anyway, let's get this fucking camera back online.
All right, cool.
What's up?
All right, camera's back on. We're back to what was I saying? Oh yeah, the
sorry
person
about that.
hit the gas right as I was about to hit them, and they didn't move out into traffic. They just moved out enough to just have me completely dodge them and go there. So I got to enjoy my night still.
Yeah, alive.
Yeah.
Now that we're talking about it, stuff is resurfacing. Actually, yeah. Good thing my mind suppressed that so I could live my life. So like I go home, my family, like we participate in the Wisconsin deer hunting season. We're not fucking gun nuts things or whatever. We'll go out, we'll hunt a deer, and then we'll get our own meat and stuff or whatever.
It's fine for all that. It's just funny to hear you say that where you're wearing a Made in the USA hat.
This is the one hat that I bought for the vacation dad video. And I'm just like, I feel bad throwing out a hat. So
I like that. It's fine.
I just kept it on. I bought it at a gas station for $3.
That's actually a pretty good deal. I feel like with that hat, it looks fine.
I got a T-shirt, dad shades, and a hat, all for $10.
Well, send me the address to that gas station.
Okay,
you know.
boy,
All right. Okay.
But like we were hunting and stuff, and we were in a group, and our group is really responsible. We've been around for 47 years, I think, at this point. Never had a single safety incident whatsoever. But the problem is when you're out on public land doing like deer drives and stuff, you have the potential to run into other groups and people that are just fucking shitty. And I had an incident like 5 or 6 years ago where like a deer drive is where a couple hunters like push through the woods.
Okay.
And then try
is
to
that
like stir
over
up deer.
A day or like a week, or what is that?
It's
like?
about an hour. So
okay.
Yeah, so you drop a bunch of guys off like at the edge of a piece of woods. If you're looking at me right here now visually, you drop a bunch of guys off at the edge of the woods up here, and then hunters spread out here, and you go through the woods or whatever. Boop, and you try to drive deer to the standers at the end. Anyway, I was walking through, and it was really, really thick brush. And all of a sudden, like, because we spread out maybe about 50 yards apart from each other, all of a sudden, I hear bullets coming in.
Holy shit.
Like, bullets coming in, like, within probably a few meters of me or whatever. So I get down, hey, stop. Some fucking bozo had just stood up. Our group had driven into him, and he was shooting into our drive at, like, a female deer. And we're just like, I was like, stop. Oh, sorry. Like, that's
Aren't you guys all wearing like orange too and everything?
Yeah,
too?
that's the thing, is he's just a fucking moron. You run into those people, and they're just stupid fucking idiots. And that's the kind of shit that wrecks it for everybody, you know?
Yeah, and it's totally fair to rag on him like that, because that's a stupid fucking idiot who almost shot somebody.
Yeah.
And if it was 5 or 6 years ago, you were a kid, basically. So almost shot a kid.
Yeah.
Because he's a fucking dumbass.
The scariest thing I ever had when I was hunting, where I felt like I was gonna die. I don't know if I would have, but like, it was at the end of the day, you hunt right till when the sun goes down, basically, and then sometimes you're walking out of your deer stand and you have to walk 15-20 minutes, and it's just fucking dark out. And if you don't have a flashlight, you're just walking in the middle of the woods, fully dark, hoping you find your way out. And I was like walking out through like thick pine trees on each side, and all of a sudden I start hearing like wolves all around me. Oh
no shit.
Yeah, like I could hear them in the woods, like moving around in the trees around me. So I'm just like, I thought, I'm gonna fucking die out here. Couldn't see shit. I have one more death thing.
Okay.
Also, another one was I was in a pool when I was like in first grade, and it was just a fucking pool party, and there's this piece of shit kid named Andrew or whatever. He moved away, so fuck you, Andrew.
He's probably dead now or something.
Hopefully, at this point. But we're just like,
fuck Andrew for sure.
One of those guys that gets too squirrely, you know, those kids is too rough or whatever. And we're in a pool, and like no one was watching, and Andrew was like, he just held me under the water, and like I was actively like almost about to drown, and he was just holding me down like as a joke, and I freaked out, and I took his arm and I just bit it as hard as I could, and I ripped off a big hunk of skin and shit.
Because you were dying.
I was dying.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the nice thing that I love is like Andrew comes out, of course, like, why did you bite me? Like a fucking moron.
Yeah.
And I was like, he was drowning me. And my mom and his mom were just like, Andrew, you son of a bitch. Fuck that kid.
I feel like those kids would be the ones without siblings mainly, not shitting on people who are only children, but it's like they didn't understand like how to behave when you're roughing around with some people. Like one of my friends, I remember one time we were on like a trampoline, and he just fucking 5-starred me, but like not as a like, I 5-starred you, but he thought it was like some friendly, like just fucking slammed me in the back as hard as he could. Just punched him in the arm like as hard as I could. He's like, what the fuck, man? Yeah. It's like if you hit somebody, you're gonna get hit back. Obviously, if you drown someone, you're gonna get your fucking arm bit. It's like people get angry from that stuff, and especially yours was like survival mode for it.
Yeah, it was like I had to do that, and I was not like a violent kid at all, and I was just afraid, and I just bit the shit out of them.
Yeah.
Do you ever have any kids growing up that were just like, you can't even fucking describe it? They're just spazzes, you know? Like they just could not be controlled. Absolute fucking maniac kids. What kind of shit did they do?
One of them, one time, because he didn't want to take a spelling test, I was sitting next to him. It was in my class with my favorite teacher ever. He's great, but I don't want to name any names. I was sitting, like, it was one of those setups where, you know, you would have the groups of desks. So, like, I was sitting close to another group at the end of my group, and he was in the other group. So he was sitting, like, a couple of feet from me, but his desk was separated. And one time just absolutely flipped his desk fully, just threw the fucking desk, and it just flew past me and landed to the side because he didn't want to take a spelling test. Just full on threw a fucking desk in the middle of the class. That reminds me, this is not the spaz thing. We'll go right back to that. I just remembered a cheating story from elementary school that I love so much. It was with my favorite teacher. I wasn't good at math. I was always, I think we've talked about this with Jamie's thing, is I was, for some reason, enough until the end of high school for them to be like, you're not the like AP math, but you're Excel math. And then I would do bad in Excel math, and they would drop me down. I'd do bad in that math too. So I don't know. I would, not bad, I would get like C pluses. So I would just skate by in whatever math I was in. But in 6th grade, they introduced we would go to different classrooms to do our math. So they'd separate it into levels. So my favorite teacher, I would leave his class, and he would teach the really smart math kids, and we would go to like the dumb one. And there was this kid that I knew that I was friends with that apparently he had been like, they would get the tests back, and he would look at the correct answers, and he would erase his wrong answers and then go back to my favorite teacher and be like, hey, you messed up this grading thing. And it worked like twice, because he tried it twice in the span of like a month. But then after that time, my teacher was just like, I'm going to just pay attention to what I grade him on this. So like,
if it's just him.
Yeah, exactly. So he was the only one approaching him. So I remember he called him out in front of the whole class. I only heard about it because I wasn't in the room. But he went up again. Hey, guys, I accidentally said my teacher's name. So
Eddie Burback ain't no fucking rat.
I'm not a fucking rat. I won't rat anyone out. But so then he like came up to him and was like, hey, you know, you messed up the grading again. And he out loud, give me a fake name for the kid.
Daniel.
Okay. He goes, really, Daniel? Because you were the only one in the class that got that question wrong. And he goes, I'll see you outside in a second. Ooh. And it was just like everyone lost their mind according to everybody there.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, he just got completely called out and then got in huge trouble for it. Because it's like a 12-year-old thought he was smarter than a grown man, and that he could keep outsmarting him with the same thing every single time. It's fucking idiot.
That just reminded me, before I talk about the spaz kid thing, there was this kid, Zach. There's this kid, Zach, in my grade. And, like, for some reason, Zach was just like, you could any time of the day you could be like, Zach, why don't you just rip some ass right now? You just fucking fart. Zach was just full of farts for the entirety of his life, honestly. We were in like a 5th grade social studies class, and our teacher was like, he was this guy, and he was pretty reasonable for the most part, but Zach one day was just like, kept just cutting like the hot farts that just the whole room smells. Jesus
Christ, dude.
Where it's like, I get that, you know, you're kind of being squirrely about it, but like at the end of the day, I mean, it's a fart. Like, you kind of gotta like let it out at some point. But like Zach just kept like shitting his pants, and then the teacher just like lost it on him in front of the whole class. He's like, Zach, if you keep doing those, he was struggling to use the word, you know, because you're like,
kids say farts to 5th graders, they'll lose their minds.
You keep doing those damn movements. He's like, I'm gonna kick you out. I'm never gonna let you in my class again. He's just like, and Zach was just like quietly trying to keep it together.
I don't know how those kids operate, because I was such a like not farty kid, not really thinking it's hilarious. So then to just openly in your class just be farting like a bunch, that's so alien to me. I don't know why.
See, I dabbled in the farts like that.
No, yeah, I'm not judging it. It's just like for me, my family especially too, it was just like it's just my brain's not wired like that to think farts are funny.
We don't fart.
We don't rat, we don't fart. But we do fart on rats.
So the spaz kid growing up, there's this kid, there's those kids I'm sure everybody's experienced going through school where it's like, what happened to that kid? Like, that was just the weirdest kid, and I saw him for like a year, and then you want to know.
Those are the weird ones because they disappear. Especially, I think, for a small town, for you, it's like, what happened to that kid? Yeah. Where'd he go?
And it was like in elementary school, like, there was just this second grade kid named Kyle, and he would just like, this kid was Hollywood textbook bad, like just fucking squirrely as shit. Like, he would do stuff like he would go into the art room during class, and maybe if a bad kid was in art class, they would draw a naughty picture or something. But Kyle would like fucking go to the tubs of paint and pour them out onto the tables. And like,
ooh, that's a kid with a rough home life, immediately. Like,
I know.
Oh no.
Like, he would just, like, one day he took this giant tub of blue paint and poured it on the surface of every table and rolled around in blue paint.
Ooh.
So he was just like completely coated with blue shit, and he kept going to the walls and like doing body prints on the walls and stuff.
It's not specifically with paint, but with like shit, isn't that like a sign of like an abused kid too?
Shit is, I think. Yeah.
So like, I feel like that's pretty similar of like dumping shit all over the place. That's
probably. Yeah, I know, but it was just like, it was so nuts where there was no frame of reference for any other kid.
Because when you're a kid too and you see that stuff happening, you're like, I thought the world worked where you can't do things like that to adults or you'll die. That's what it seems like.
Kyle would always do this thing at recess where he would always wear like those kind of like stretchy waistband sweatpants or whatever, and he'd always go up to you and he'd go, guess what, and he'd just whip out his dick, and he would he'd pee on people at recess. He'd just go around and just fucking pee on people.
Your elementary school sounds like a fucking nightmare.
It was the Wild West.
Mine was at least a little bit fucking structured. That's crazy. How many people do you think were in your elementary school class then? Did it get bigger at all, or is it the same class throughout everything?
It was maybe about 50 kids in my grade or so. Yeah.
Okay.
Enough to fill maybe 2 or 3 classrooms.
That's so crazy. I don't know the exact number. I think my high school class was like 500, 600. I think, but I don't remember the exact number. We definitely had, I think, for what they do in the suburbs, when the population, I'm sure they do it in cities too with the population being high, is you'll have multiple elementary schools feed into your junior high, and then multiple junior highs feed into your high school. So it's like, because there's just so many kids, they like to keep it like 3 classrooms per grade. So I had that same elementary school like experience, but then my middle school was like all like 3 or 4 other elementary schools you're now meeting each other there. And then same thing with high school. I got lucky though, because my elementary school was the biggest to go into my junior high, and then my junior high was the biggest to go in my high school. So I always knew the most people going into the next one.
Yeah.
It sucked for some people because they would be it's always harder for people to like transfer because they don't know anybody, but some people would be like coming in from a junior high where maybe mine came in with like a couple hundred kids and theirs was like 20 or 30. So yeah, it would be like all these people knew each other, and then they knew like a couple of people.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's a weird way to do things.
Do you ever just have like do you have like a memory from childhood where like you can't really explain it, like you acted a certain way or some weird shit happened?
I still remember one time I was so like, my brother and I used to get really, Tony's editing this. I don't want to bring this back in his brain, but we used to get really mad about who got to play the video game we were renting first, because we loved going. My dad would take us. This is the only, I feel like, a spoiled thing almost. Every weekend he took us to Hollywood Video, and we got to rent a movie and a game. Which was awesome. It's like the best part of my childhood. But we would always get into a fight about who could play the game first because we were kids. And I think we were like 5 or something like that. Because I got to play video games really early because my dad was really interested in them, and he would buy them for himself, and then I could play like Spyro or some shit on a demo disc.
Yeah.
So I remember getting so mad at Tony once because like I was supposed to play and he wanted to play or something, that I bit him and made him like bleed a little bit. And I still think back to that and I'm like, how is there a moment in time where like I actively wanted to hurt my brother? Because you're a kid, you're like
Yeah.
5. But it's like I still think back to it and I'm just like, oh my God, that's so awful. I'm sorry, Tony.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I remember like, cause I was pretty like, I didn't have a temper when I was growing up, but
I did.
For some reason
bad.
I was fucking. There were just times where I'd get so angry, and the first time that I remember where I was just livid was growing up. One of the only games and the first games that we ever had was we could go to my grandpa's house, and on his shitty old desk book laptop, my brother Sven and I would play Lego Star Wars on PC,
dude.
which
Yeah,
is the
we've talked
fucking
about this.
bomb.
Yeah, Lego Star Wars is an amazing game, but horrible for siblings.
Terrible, because you can't it's like if you're player 1, you better fucking follow me, player 2, because the screen did not do the cool split thing it does with the new Lego games or whatever. And for like Lego Star Wars on the old PC stuff, it would be like one character has the WASD ones and the other one has the arrow keys.
That's so much worse because I already fought with my
Yes.
brother so much about Lego Star Wars because of the camera, but the fact that you have to share a keyboard, holy shit, man.
Oh, it was nuts.
I don't even think it was just player 1. I think it was whatever character was on the edge of the screen. So if you were player 1 and you were moving one way and then your sibling was like, oh shit, I have to get this and walk this way, you just, the camera would like freeze and then go with, not freeze, but it would stop and then decide to go with one of you.
Yeah, it was like tug of war.
Yeah, so if you were like trying to jump over like a platforming thing and your brother is moving forward, you just fucking drop to your death and get angry.
Yeah, that was
worst thing for like 10-year-old kids possible.
It was terrible. But the thing is, like, you know, we had those little arguments with Lego Star Wars 1 for the most part, but like we played the absolute shit out of that game.
Oh yeah, I loved it so much. Gathering the fucking, what are the coins called? They were
the studs.
yeah.
It's
And
so
there was,
satisfying.
Dude, what were the top ones? They were the blue studs, right?
Blue
It was like,
studs.
yeah, dude. Oh,
Oh,
fuck.
dude, and they're a little glowy.
Don't get me
and
started
fucking
on
shit.
studs, baby.
Oh, you're looking at them,
Dude, a
fella.
couple of studs. All right, not that, but keep going.
Okay, I'll take it back.
That's a horrible noise for anyone in the audio and video for either of them.
So we were like, you can imagine our excitement when they were like, Lego Star Wars 2 is coming out. We were like, oh my God, more? Because we had exhausted the first one.
Yeah.
And I remember, like, I just begged my parents, and they finally, like, they let us get Lego Star Wars 2.
Yeah.
And it's the anticipation. Like, for us, this was not only, like, a game we're looking forward to. This is, like, the only game that we had. So here's the sequel. So it came out, and, like, right away, Sven and I sat down to play the fucking thing. And within the first 40 minutes, there was, like, it was like a Lego... it was like in The New Hope, you know, where they're like, oh, Princess Leia's got the fucking Death Star plans and shit.
Yeah.
And for some reason, there was this like hallway level where Darth Vader was at the end, and he was like killing you and shit, and we could not figure out how to get past it.
Oh, dude, those were the worst as a kid, but kind of the best too.
Yeah,
Keep going.
but it lasted like it was the first play thing, and it lasted like the first hour, and I just remember like not even realizing I'm stuck. I could probably look up how to beat this later.
Yeah, we didn't look up. I mean, games.
No, you don't.
especially
You
at the
didn't look
time.
up shit at all. Like, and there wasn't like. I don't know. There's probably shit on YouTube, but it's like, yeah, you just fucking
I don't
figure
think
it
there
out.
was at the time though, because the thing is, there's such a backlog of tutorials now, and like there's so many people whose career it is to just like the second Red Dead comes out, put out tutorials and stuff.
Yeah.
that wasn't the thing on YouTube at the
Yeah.
time. When at that time it was like, you know, put up a funny Smosh video or something like that. So
Yeah.
I don't even think you could look up a video of it. Maybe
makes
like
me
an
feel
IGN like walkthrough. But
Yeah, but I mean, it was like I waited years for this game, and in the first like 30 minutes, we were stuck for over an hour.
oh fuck.
And I just remember, like, I don't know what snapped in my brain, but I just got so unreasonably angry, and I was just screaming, you know, just like, fuck, because I was just like, this is my game now, and it's stuck. I can't beat the game.
Yeah.
I get to play 30 minutes of this fucking game. And my mom was like, what is wrong with you? And she just took the game away for a while, because it was like, understandably,
yeah,
I had
I
a
get it, yeah,
conniption
you're-
there, yeah.
Did you pass it at one point while playing with Sven?
Yeah, I
or-
figured it
okay.
out. It was just dumb shit like, oh, you're supposed to shoot that thing up there.
Okay, yeah,
it's fucking dumb.
It's always those small side things. One thing is that was genuinely just too hard was I'm embarrassed to say I enjoyed Kingdom Hearts as a kid. I'll still play the new one, guys. So if you're offended that I said I was embarrassed to say, I'm gonna play it, but I'm gonna hate the story at every single turn, and I'm gonna laugh at it, and I'm gonna get drunk and play it. But in Kingdom Hearts 2, there was a level where you fought this boss guy where he all this shit stupid. He's one of the like organization members. So they have like structured with the whole game. There'll be a Disney story like Beauty and the Beast or something like that, and you play their like problem in the beginning. So basically the plot of the movie, and then you come back to the world, and then the new issue is one of the organization members, there's 13 of them, went and is like starting shit. So like you play the just Disney, no anime part, and then you play the anime part. But the anime parts have the like cool, I don't watch anime, it's fine if you do, but like they have like really cool boss fights where the challenge comes into the game. And one of the guys would have like, he was like a guitar dude, and he would like, water was his element, so he would like hit you with like blasts of water, but then at every point in his boss level, it wouldn't just be fighting him. There'd be a moment where he would make a bunch of like musical notes made out of water, like splashing around, and you had 30 seconds to like take out all of them, or else like you lost. So it was like you could click one of them and like spin it around, and it would like kill a bunch of them. But the second time he came around, we just couldn't beat it ever. So it was like one of our favorite games, and there was just one stop. So it was like, I guess we'll restart the game now because we still can't beat it. Wow. So we would replay the game, and we just couldn't do it. And then luckily, Tony, after like years, just went back and played it and beat it, and then like played the rest of the game, and it was super satisfying to see stuff that we hadn't seen before.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just like, I remember being so desperate about it that one of my like acquaintance friends in elementary school, his older brother played Kingdom Hearts, and he was good at it. And I was genuinely considering being like, dude, could your brother just come over and beat it for me? Like, I just can't keep playing the game. And we never did it. But, like, I beat it now recently, too, just because I wanted to do it. But we just couldn't fucking get past it.
That's the worst when you're playing games as a kid.
Yeah, and Kingdom Hearts 2 is, like, it's structured around, like, discovery and going to new worlds. So it just fucking halts that. And you're like, what is past this point?
Yeah.
Because you're a dumb kid and you can't see the outline of the fucking Aladdin, like, lamp. And you're like, what could that world be?
Time shit is the worst when you're a kid. That gets you even more pissed off.
I couldn't do it as a kid. It would just be way too much pressure.
You know what fucking killed me was like I was so obsessed with 100%ing Super Mario Sunshine, and like I think I eventually did it. I might not have even finished it. But the thing is, like in the game, you could get the fucking shine sprites and stuff, but the fucking blue coins. There are like there's a thing in the game where you can buy a shine sprite with 10 blue coins, and there's a shitload of blue coins scattered all over the whole world. And there is, I mean, you've played some Sunshine before, right?
Yeah, I played a little bit of it.
And like it's a pretty massive in scope game in terms of just like the worlds and stuff. Even the levels are big and everything. And I spent months where I think there was like 120 shine sprites, and I had maybe 118. So I had everyone that I could find, and I just needed to find like 15 more blue coins, and I couldn't fucking find it. There's like 10 of them. I don't know where they are. I still don't know. And I was looking, like at that time when I was playing it, like you could see the YouTube tutorials. So I had like a fucking pen and paper, and I'd be watching them and be like, oh, by the waterfall in like Rico Harbor and shit.
I had to do that with one of the Assassin's Creed games. That's I think getting collectibles after you've played the game and not kept track is the most frustrating thing you can do in a video game.
Yes.
It's because you're just like, you look at the map and they're like, all right, guys, here's all the collectibles are. And you're like, I don't fucking remember where I got any of these.
That's just it. And they always had like a bunch of like, you go into a new world and it's like, oh, I can see 30 blue coins. So you don't keep track. Like, yeah, I'll get this one. I'll get this one. And that's like, oh, you'd have 5 more in here. Where do I fucking go for these fucking coins?
You know what actually reminded me? It's slightly related, but for Red Dead, do you know about the companion app for it? Sounds like a fucking ad.
No.
If we can put one of the iPads to use for you, and if I could borrow one of the 5 iPads you got from the school, I think you've talked about it before. But the companion app, you can, because you played a little bit of the game, right? I
probably played 7 hours of the game.
Okay, so probably like what, maybe 4 in the open world for a bit.
4 in the open world, yeah, probably.
So you know how it's like kind of frustrating, not frustrating, but to go to the map so much. The companion app on like the iPad and the phone, but it's better on the iPad, is a more zoomed out version of the map that just constantly keeps track of where you are.
Oh, what? That's great.
So like my buddy John, he sent it to me like where he just had it sitting there. So like it showed when he was in Valentine, all of Valentine, and he was just like moving on the horse, and you could just see his arrow going in the direction. Because I checked the map and it's like, it's not a flaw with the game at all, but I sometimes I'm like, I'm checking this map so fucking much, and I saw that it's like it's perfect.
Yeah, and there's not just a hotkey map button, is there? You have to pause.
I heard there was. My friend Zach told me you hold down the start button instead of clicking it and then click map. If you hold it down for an extra second, it'll go straight to the map.
I still don't want to do that.
Still too
tiny
long.
Little thing.
I think PlayStation kind of nailed it where the touchpad should be the map button.
Every time.
Yeah, because the thing is, for a while they were like, well, you can, in Infamous, you can swipe your hand and do this, and every developer was like, that's fucking dumb.
Yeah.
But it's a big map button, and it feels like it should be the map because this is big area on the front of your controller.
Yeah.
So then when it wasn't here, what's the fucking touchpad in Red Dead?
The touchpad?
Yeah, what does it do? It does it does the camera change.
Yeah, I don't care about that. Could have been anything.
I could do that in the settings. I don't need to fucking do that. I
Yeah.
mean, I guess holding down for the cinematic mode is kind of cool, and I do that sometimes.
Yeah.
But like, the map is more useful. I would rather hold down the start button for cinematic mode. Well, I guess then start. Fuck, I get it. I get it, but it's still, I love the map on the touchpad.
Yeah, take one of the iPads. That's cool. I almost
All right,
like
awesome.
looking off the screen to be like, oh, it's because it's like, here's my map, here's my little real world map.
Yeah, it's awesome, especially because it tracks it like real time there. So it's like, it's just cool. It's keeping track of it.
That's great. For any people, before you think I'm a fucking high roller, my old high school was selling like iPads for like $20, so I just got 5 of them.
What happened with that in America, by the way? It seems like every fucking high school in America at 1 year was just like, all right, we're all getting iPads now.
Yeah.
And then
why?
they got outdated so fast where everyone was graduating. They're like, I don't know, if you want to give us a couple bucks, I guess you can keep it. And it's like,
Yeah.
what? Like this, when iPads were starting to get added to the school, they were like this crazy piece of technology. And then by the time we were leaving high school, they're like, yeah, we're just trying to fucking trash these. We're going to get some new ones.
Yeah, I feel like no one ever really used them. Like, it was just kids
We
would
used
fuck
them way too
around on
much.
them.
Yeah, well, we would use them for our note taking.
Yeah.
But yeah, people would fuck around all the time because especially with this, they gave us cases with stands on it, so it could stand vertical on your desk or horizontal. So you just put it up vertical and you just text the whole time because
Yeah.
nobody could see.
Mm-hmm.
So it would, I mean, honestly, it helped for like some classes where I just didn't give a shit and didn't want to focus because some classes you do where it's like, did you take AP Psych in high school? I thought we talked about it.
No, I
okay.
didn't.
Psych was like, it's a great class, and then I took it in college too for a whole reason that pissed me off, but I'm not going to talk about.
Because you're no rat. I gotcha.
It's not that. It's well, one thing is when I thought I was going to go to film school after community college, I got I think I got a 3 out of 5 on my AP Psych test. And the film school I was going to go to accepted 3s, but my community college accepted 4s. For gen eds. So my community college was more strict than the school I wanted to go to, and it was for your gen eds, and that's where I was getting my gen eds.
Yeah.
So I was like, I have to take the class again. I had to take psych again.
That's dumb.
Yeah, but I mean, psych was one where for my teacher for it, she's great, super nice person, like really cared about learning, but it would be like read the chapter, and then we go in, and she just talk the chapter again. So like during that class, I would just be playing like games the whole time.
Yeah, why should you pay attention?
Yeah, because it would be a PowerPoint about like the words we went over, and then we watched like a fucking Crash Course episode. By the way, love the Green Brothers for the Crash Course stuff. That got me through college.
Really?
Have you seen those videos?
I've maybe seen 1 or 2 of them, but I've not really.
Crash Course is the whole brand, so it includes the history stuff too, right? If you're in a psych class and you just like look up certain words from that chapter, fucking Hank Green will walk you through an entire chapter of psych, and there'll be cool animations, and he'll go through, and it'll show the vocab words that you're learning.
Yeah.
And as he's explaining them, show the definition, basically like make a flashcard of this right now as you're watching.
Oh, that's great.
Dude, Crash Courses are like the most educational videos I've ever seen. They're like perfect.
I gotta check those out.
Yeah,
I
especially because you're not in school. It doesn't mean as much anymore, but they
Yeah.
were so good for like, you just look up one thing from like a history class, and then John Green would just tell you all about it and make it fun.
hope-
Yeah, they're great. They've done a lot, I think, for education, more than like, I think they'll get more respect for it. Not that they don't already have it, but I think in like 10 years, because they're just, those videos are gold for learning.
Yeah. I think it probably would help if we got invited as featured creators of VidCon next year.
Honestly, I want to make this a meme. I really do, dude. I was actually talking, Tears was playing Blackout with us last night.
Yeah.
And we were talking about it too, where I was just saying like, yeah, I think I really want to make it a meme of like constantly asking VidCon to get me and Gus invited. Because like what you guys don't know, if you've never been to VidCon, is it feels super classist, but in a weird way. So it's like you might be a legitimate YouTuber with friends who are invited to VidCon. That hotel where everybody hangs out who's invited, you might be best friends with that person. You cannot go inside unless you're not invited, which I get for security. But then the thing is, you're thinking, oh, I'm a legitimate YouTuber, and I know someone who's invited, and I have my pass. Who else is on the level of pass of me?
Everybody.
Anyone who wanted to buy one. They have a creator pass that you can buy at any level of a YouTube channel, no matter what.
It should not be like that.
Yeah, so
There's no fucking bar.
Yeah, so fans buy creator badges, and then you're at the same, not saying like they're like lower anyway, but as a security risk,
Yes.
it's like we're just walking around with the same pass as just like regular people, like no security or anything like that. And mainly not us, we weren't swarmed, but like Danny and Drew dealt with like what I would consider a security issue because so many people were there to take pictures with them.
Mm-hmm. And they did not get invited.
Yeah.
And they were huge and they had big fan bases.
And yeah, here's the problem. Is the only time you're going to ever hear me say this. Here's where I'll give Tana Mongeau credit. Is like, one, TanaCon, complete fucking mess.
Yeah.
But her initial problem was VidCon's not inviting me. So I go to VidCon to enjoy VidCon. And then I get swarmed and they kick me out for a security risk. Mm-hmm. So invite her then.
Yeah.
Like, that's what happens. Is it happened to Danny and Drew too. They came over and they're like, you cannot have like, you know, a meet and greet here where there's just too many people. And it's like, then give them a pass right now to be invited. Because if there's enough people there to see them at your event, they probably sold a lot of tickets. So then they should get invited.
And I get that there's so many people that have like sizable chunk platforms, but even if you like cut it off, like, you know, there's a huge difference between like a channel with like 5,000 subs and then like a channel with like 100,000 subs.
Yeah.
Like it should almost, you know, be like tiers of that for specifically for security. I don't want to, again,
we're
not
like
being
we
like
don't want to interact.
I fucking wasted 40 minutes talking to you, 2,000 sub bitch.
We specifically walked the hall every single day to see people who came to see us. Like it wasn't like we enjoy that. It's super. We talked a lot about it last episode of how much we like people that watch our stuff actually. So we don't have to gush about that again. Fuck you guys.
Yeah.
No, but
get out of here.
Yeah, they don't even have to, because what they do is when they invite people to VidCon, they give them a hotel room, and it's like you just invite me and not give me a hotel room.
Hotel.
We prefer being at our house, like with not our house, but like a house with our friends.
Just have areas where we can go in if it's like, okay, we'll just duck over here or something like that.
Like to just be like, oh yeah, I'm legit, and that's it.
Like we have times where like we were hanging out with like a group all day or whatever, and then like one of the dudes was like a featured creator, you know, and was just eating dinner or whatever, and then like we're just like, oh, can we go get dinner over here? And then the hotel staff was like, no, you need to get out of here and stuff.
Yeah,
it's
the
like,
guy too was so shitty about it because he was like, we even said that's our friend, and then they waved to us from the dinner area, and then he saw that and was like, oh, you know what? All right. I'll take you to him. Yeah. Come on, guys. And I remember right when he said that to you, I was like, we're getting kicked out. He's like, come on, guys. I'll take you right to him. Walking away from them. It's like, dude, we're not fucking 12-year-olds. Like getting kicked out of a Target.
Because he says it. He goes, I'll take you right there. And he had like another security man. He goes, I'll take you right there. Stay behind him. Can you stay behind him? It's like,
oh, so he must be taking us right there.
Here we go.
Thank you, sir.
Double help.
Thank you. Help in the front and behind.
Wow.
It was just so stupid. Whereas the thing is, I totally understand his point of view as a security guard, especially when there's been some YouTube security stuff in the past.
Yes.
But the thing is, it's not his flaw. One, he was kind of an asshole about it. But like it's one thing for VidCon where like honestly, this issue would be fixed if they just invited me and you, and I would stop talking about it. But you don't have to hear any more about the problems with VidCon if you invite me.
I'll the last problem.
I'll cuck it out for VidCon. Dude, honestly, fucking give us the invite.
I tried to. Oh, that's deafening. Not doing that again. Hey, that was a good shot.
That was actually pretty good. Yeah.
I tried to do memeing a thing because like when you're memeing something like that, like the VidCon one's a good one.
I know, you're gonna bring up fucking Icee.
I know. What the fuck? Icee, you fuckers. Fuck. Okay, I've been trying for months and months to like.
I think it's been over a year.
It's probably been at least close to a year. Yeah, we're like, okay. I'm unironically, I love Icee. It's my
white cherry Icee is one of the best tasting things I've ever had.
Yes, it is, and even the red cherry is great, but the white cherry is like, it's tasty as hell. Icee is like, it's perfect in every way because it's such a cool ass aesthetic. You know, they have like the same cup design they've had for like years and years.
It looks like my childhood when I look at it.
Yeah, they have them at like movie theaters and shit, and they're kind of pricey there. But most places you can get Icees for 99 cents.
You know,
a big
pricey
tall one.
It's the cup at the movie theaters because they're not Icee brand cups. They're the movie theater brand cups.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I worked there. I worked at AMC. So like it was usually they might have the logo on it, but the reason I had one of my managers tell me about this when I worked there is like the cups are so valuable because they sell drinks for so much that like you can't, if you're working there, just because I worked at that concession stand that was way more relaxed.
Yeah,
you can't grab like a medium cup and then fill it up with like a lemonade or something. You can do it with the water cup. They don't really care about that. But it's like you waste one of those cups, that's $8.
Yeah, that's
so it's point. So one thing is just in props to Icee, they're not charging that much. They're giving the same amount for slushies and then or for Icees. My bad.
Yeah.
Ooh, yikes!
We're trying to get a brand deal here.
All right, keep going though.
No, but I mean the thing, and even in the Midwest especially, there are many places, especially at Super America. Super America's got Icees everywhere. It's a gas station chain. Is it worldwide? world.
I've never heard of
Country
Super
wine.
America. Is
Really?
it in Wisconsin?
It's definitely a big Midwestern thing.
Okay.
But I'm sure they have deals with other like gas stations and stuff. But most of the time in the summer, you can go get Ices for 49 cents.
That's crazy.
A large fucking Icee. It's great. It's delicious. It's like it's not as bad for you as like other desserts because there's so much carbonation and shit in it. It's great. I love everything about Icee, unironically. And I also am like, if I could pick like one dream brand to do sponsorship for, like I don't want some big giant one. I want someone like, when have you ever seen an Icee ad ever?
I want those for those brands.
Yeah.
It's like brands that you don't see an ad for. It's like, why haven't they just like gone into YouTube at all? Why is it only like, even though I love the internet companies because they keep us going and I actually like a lot of their services, but like, and that's not me just bullshitting. I do. Why aren't there like McDonald's ads on YouTube?
Right?
That's weird.
Like, do they think it's too risky or something? Or
I
whatever?
don't know.
Like,
I really don't know what it is.
what could I do that's damaging to Icee's public image?
Honestly.
The thing is, they got a few thousand Twitter followers, and like,
They've seen your tweets without a doubt.
they have. I've tweeted at them so many goddamn times.
They get a notification. Whoever runs that Twitter gets a notification when you tweet it.
Yeah, and people have gone, you guys have been cool about it too. Like, people aren't like, fuck you, Icee, like, pay attention to Gus. But people are like, hey, Icee, like, Gus really likes your stuff. Like, thank you for being polite about it.
You know what'd be so cool?
What?
Even if it's not even for a sponsorship, if Icee gave us an Icee machine for the apartment, I would lose my fucking mind.
That would be nuts. Please, Icee.
Just when we have people over, like, do you want a fucking Icee right now? You don't even have to go anywhere. Guys, get Icee to give us an Icee machine.
Please do that. Here's the thing is, like, when you see, like, when we'll do, like, the commentary stuff, like, we already have, like, sponsors lined up and stuff. Mm-hmm. Like, it's not like a cash grab. I just want to do promo for Icee.
That's the thing. Yeah, we're fine on sponsors, but it's like, it's that brand that you like that you want to do it for. And that's why you've been saying that for whenever you are fully stocked on sponsors, you're never like, oh, I just need one. Let me reach out to Icee. It's just you want Icee.
I want Icee. And it's like at this point, it's like, why? Why aren't you even acknowledging? They've never even liked one of my things.
Yeah, it would have been a good just like PR move to just tweet back at you. That would have been enough.
Yeah.
Icee, we love you. Icee, what are you doing to us?
Because the thing is, like, I'm not the biggest fish in the pond, okay? But it's like, what do they have to lose from even just interacting like with me? Like, I fucking love them.
Honestly,
God damn it, Icee, please.
Easiest thing in the world when you work for a company, like for their Twitter, is all they have to do, go in, watch 2 of your videos, make some kind of meme having to do with one of your videos so it seems like they personally know who you are. Mm-hmm. It's literally that easy. And they haven't liked one of them.
Yeah.
So what the fuck, Icee?
So it's been like a year. The meme continues. I am not fucking backing down, Icee. God damn it.
It sounds like a fucking terrorist.
I'm not going anywhere. I swear to God, though, if I don't hear something in the next year, I'm switching to Slurpee. I don't care. I'll
dude,
flop.
hold on.
That is a close second.
Dude.
It's a close second.
Okay.
It's a close second. But I do not want to compromise that, okay? Because I believe in you. I don't want to side with 7-Eleven necessarily. I want to go with you, Icee. So please show me some love.
7-Eleven's fucking kicking down our doors for a sponsorship.
Yeah.
And Icee, you gotta jump on this before you miss out. I do still want the meme though of us going to VidCon, and we should do it because I want us to get invited. That's it.
We'll do that. I tried to load this Lego Star Wars 2 page about 15 minutes ago, and it finally opened up.
What is it fucking from like 2005?
I just wanted to see when it was released. 2006. Okay.
So I was 2 was 2006?
11. The second one was. Yeah. Okay. So I was 11. Interesting. Speaking of people fucking bursting down our doors.
Oh, yeah.
Goddamn
Jesus
maintenance
Christ,
shit. We got a maintenance, like...
Well, do you want to explain why the maintenance guy even came first? Because that was so
a good point.
Weird.
It's a good point, yeah. So, like, last week, it was right when, like, a bunch of people showed up to our house for, like, a filming project thing. And then, like, 5 minutes before, our cupboard just starts dripping water, like a spout coming out of our cupboard.
And our cupboards are made of metal that are like painted.
Yeah.
So just so you know, for like the damage of like, it's not wood getting damaged by water, but go ahead.
It was like rusty brown water. And we're like, what? And we opened the cupboards, not a speck of water in there.
Which visually hilarious.
Yeah.
That there was no water inside and there was water coming out of the bottom.
There was a little tiny hole and it was just a little spout. And we're like, where is this water coming from? It's coming from inside the cupboard.
Out of its little tiny hole.
So we're like, what the hell is this? But then we started noticing, I just noticed today there's like a little bit, you know, when paint gets like water behind it on the wall, there was some water leakage. None of us, like neither Eddie or I reported it to like the building or whatever. But today I just got home from like Wisconsin And I hear out in the main room, I just hear like keys jingling. The door comes open. I hear. I couldn't hear what the words are, so you didn't miss it either. So I go out there, and there's a maintenance guy going, service here, service.
Which again, we're in a city, which already scares me. And there's now a man just standing in our living room. He's here.
He did not knock. He just used the master key and came in, and we did not report this to anybody or make any requests.
Yeah.
And I was just like, what are you doing in here? Like, I'm here to check the walls. I was like, we didn't report this. He goes, yeah, the people above you, like their dishwasher leaked and spilled all over or whatever. I was like, well, I mean, we didn't file anything. Like, you give us a heads up. He's like, I'm just going to check the walls. And he's like, yeah, it's really wet in here. So, yeah, we're going to have to take care of this. I was like, what does that mean? He goes like, well, today or tomorrow, we'll just come back over and I'll hook up some fans and stuff and like dry it out. And I was like, could I please get like a goddamn notice? Like,
Yeah.
Don't just come into our
Because
apartment.
again, this conversation is happening where somebody has just entered our place.
Yes.
Like maintenance or not, somebody just walked in without any notice to our place. That's already so jarring.
I was like, can I get a notice or whatever? He's like, well, I mean, maybe we can call you or email you or something. It's like, no. So and then
Tell me before.
we called like the maintenance office too, and they're just like, yeah, well, what did they say?
They were like, well, I explained it to her because it's the service number for our place, and she was like, so is this some kind of complaint? And I was like, well, not exactly. I'm just saying I want us to get a heads up beforehand, and I'm telling this to the service people.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, that's got to be an administration issue if it's a complaint. And I'm like, okay. So I call them, and they just are on a Tuesday at 11:30 just closed.
Yeah.
And it's like, that. What the fuck? Can we just reach somebody to say, hey, the apartment that we pay rent for? I don't want anyone walking in that doesn't live here unless I know about it.
Yeah.
It's not that much to ask, dude.
Yeah, and genuinely before this, like this is the worst case because he just strolled right in. But before this, at least 5 times, we just had knock on the door and like I go there and it's just a maintenance guy and he's like, and it's different shit like, hey, I'm here to paint the floorboards. And it's like, no, you're not.
Yeah.
Like,
I've had one where it's like, yeah, we're here for the order about the cracked ceiling. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Hey, guys, you remember when I said the name of my teacher earlier? I just said my apartment number on a podcast. But they'll say, like, our apartment number, and I'll be like, that we didn't put in an order.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And then leave.
we've never put in a single order and they just show up like, oh, yeah, I'm going to go fix the house. You can't just come in here.
Yeah.
Who is telling you to come in here? It's happened like
Honestly,
6 times.
That I feel like breaks some kind of thing on the lease agreement to have somebody just walk in without any notice.
Yeah.
Because that's...
definitely breaks my little heart. But
there's something I want to mention off podcast. Remind me after. Sorry, guys. I hate it when people say that on podcasts I listen to.
It's just Eddie and our friends, and you guys
I just
aren't our
can't
friends.
share
so.
this info because it's very personal.
Okay, it's fine.
So maybe, I don't know, if you're an audience member, I don't know, maybe fuck yourself.
This is a suggestion.
I just want to get invited to VidCon. That's it.
That's fine.
Because it makes you feel bad when we got kicked out. We had a great VidCon, and that moment was just like, they kick you out, and then you see people inside, and it's you gotta stand outside like the fucking like when you had your friends ditch you when you were a kid. Just be like, yeah, they didn't let me in. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I would have been fine with a kick out if it weren't for just the egregious amount of racial slurs they hurled at me as they were kicking me out.
We hurled some back. We weren't innocent in this situation. No, that didn't happen.
You white bastard. That really broke me.
That one, yeah, really just, Bane to Batman just breaks your heart back. You know what I'm saying?
I gotcha, dude.
I have a way with words that other people don't.
Let's start our own. Have it be KidCon. It's kid friendly. Kids only.
Sorry, hold on.
Kid tested, mother approved.
So your idea is, one, our audience isn't kids. So you're already probably off because then they can't come. Why are you adjusting the mic like that?
I just want to get a good sound level.
Okay, so again, focus. Hey, focus. I feel like I didn't hear any of those snaps from here. There we go. That's pretty good.
Can you double snap with both ears?
I feel like you're trying to distract from the KidCon thing.
Can you do this?
I just said that you're trying to distract and you're doing another thing.
Go ahead.
What is your pitch
You
for
have the floor.
KidCon? I know. What is your pitch for KidCon?
Picture this. Kids, wall to wall.
What do you mean by wall to wall?
I'm talking children's, toddlers, infants, if we have the budget for it.
Hold on.
What's that?
What does that mean?
I'm just saying
No. What does that mean? What if we have the budget for infants?
Well, I'm saying,
do they cost more? Also, what's the cost here?
Well, I don't know what the rental rates are for them, but like we get the con, okay?
Okay.
So we got this big room. We just film with kids. We con all of them.
What are you saying? What do you mean we con all of them? Why are you wiping that? Okay, what do you mean we con all of them?
We get them in the room, okay?
What room? What big room?
A big room. I'm talking gymnasium. I'm talking the bird's nest
so
from
not
the
a convention.
2008 Beijing Olympic Games. I'm talking a swimming pool.
Okay, so you don't want to go to a convention center. You want to go to the bird's nest, the constructed specifically for the Beijing Olympics, that in the middle of Beijing.
Yes.
That one with all the metal everywhere. And
yeah, it looks like a bird's nest.
Right. That's why they named it that. But
we go there. We get kids. We put them everywhere. We're putting kids in the pool. We're putting them in the rafters.
Are these Chinese kids?
Any kids.
No, don't say any kid. We're in China now. Yeah. So are you bringing kids to China?
Again, budget permitting. I don't know.
What does that mean, Gus?
We'll do some fundraising, and if we can afford it, we'll just take the kids and we'll put them in that bird's nest. And we'll close them up in there, and they can just be in there.
Okay, so
start a new world in there.
So different from what you said. Different from the...
Oh, it's all one thing.
So what you said a second ago was big room, kids wall to wall. And we ended on starting a new civilization with Chinese kids in the bird's nest in Beijing.
Not just Chinese kids. Any kids.
But how are you going to get the kids there?
Again, fly them there if we have the budget for it.
So ideally you would like to have the budget to fly every kid in then?
Yeah, individually.
What do you mean individually?
Well,
like
I don't want
to plane to themselves?
Yeah, I don't want to crowd them in there. So we'll put one kid in a plane and send them. We'll send them.
You're gonna buy out an entire plane.
Rent
for each
I
one.
think I have the money to buy a bunch.
Buy out, as in buy out the seats.
Oh, okay.
Not buy a plane. Honestly, this might be cheaper to buy a plane if you're trying to get how many kids?
Can I do some quick math here?
Yeah, sure. Do some quick math on how many kids you want to put in the bird's nest. That's so loud with the keys.
I just Googled how many kids are there. Around 2 billion of the world population are children, according to the UNICEF Foundation.
Is that your answer? You want to put 2 billion kids in the bird's nest?
Seems a bit high. We'll start with about 1 billion. See if they get.
And that's not too high for you. Look up the capacity of the bird's nest right now, and please just be quieter with the quieter with the keys is what I was gonna say, but.
National Stadium is like a huge bird's nest. It's 63 acres. That's really big, actually.
Wait, but that's not the capacity, though. And also, I like that you did add that it looks like a bird's nest again. But that actually is really big, though. But what is the capacity? You're looking at. I don't know what you're looking at the screen like you're confused. Okay, so that's the Lego Star Wars 2 Wikipedia page that you're showing me, and you're looking confused. And that's a picture of Whitey. What is that? Whitey Bulger?
Whitey Bulger, the crime boss, dude.
Oh, I don't know what the fuck that is.
You've not heard of Whitey Bulger?
No.
He was. He just got killed in prison, actually, like a week ago.
Somebody punched him real hard.
On October 30th. No, genuinely, he was like an enormous. Did you hear about them? Okay, I'm abandoning that huge fucking kid.
No, yeah, I'm fine with abandoning that bit. It ran its course.
Yeah. Did you ever see Black Mass at all? Johnny Depp came out 2 years ago. That's him. Whitey Bulger.
Oh, okay.
Is the dude. But yeah, the thing is, the movie ended. It was like, oh, Whitey's still out there.
Yeah.
I really loved Johnny's performance.
Black Mass was good. I liked that movie a lot.
The trailer for it was. Like, I was like, I have to fucking see that.
Yeah.
That's how did you cook this steak kind of thing.
Yeah, I remember when especially just the trailer, before Black Mass came out, everyone was like, you got to see Black Mass. We got to go see that.
Yeah.
Because it was like Johnny Depp was back for a movie. Mm-hmm. And now, has he been in anything since Black Mask?
He's been in the last Star Wars, or Parts of the Caribbean movie.
Oh, right,
he's in the new Fantastic Beasts movie.
Oh, right, dude.
He was in the Alice in Wonderland sequel, or maybe that was before Black
I think
Mass.
that was before Black Mass, the sequel.
Let's see what he's up to.
So nothing fantastic.
Oh, they kicked him out of Pirates.
Really?
Yep. I don't think he's in
there
anymore. Is it
because I'm not educated enough. I just know he's like a kind of violent dude.
I think it was because he was difficult to work with. I really don't know anything.
I forgot where I heard this, that like Johnny Depp has such... This could be completely untrue. I just heard it somewhere that he's like, he spends his money so much that he has to like keep doing movies to like keep that lifestyle up.
He has like a dozen houses.
I was gonna say, isn't it like 14 or something like that?
It's stupid. I wonder if I can find that on here. Personal life. Jamie, pull that up in the comments. Jamie, fucking do our research for us.
James L. McCune, just go ahead and post the links to everything that we've been talking about, and actually come by, and if you could edit the podcast for us, it'd make it a lot easier on Tony. We'll still pay him though.
That'd be great, honestly.
Tony, we'll pay Tony, not Jamie.
Probably for the best. I can't see anything about that, but no, I know. I mean, Joe Rogan's talking about it.
Is that why?
Yeah, is that
okay.
he has like a dozen homes, and each of them are worth millions and millions of dollars.
I wonder if he like has in his brain like a movie tied to each home where he's like, yeah, I couldn't have bought that one without fucking Alice in Wonderland 2.
This is where I put all my Rango merch stuff. I want to see his filmography, see what he's been up to. His Wikipedia page. I love Wikipedia. I just hop on like characters or on like actors and movies and stuff, but I've never seen one like this big.
I always do IMDb for it.
I should do that. That's probably more thorough. He's a good doctor, Jeffrey, and thorough. I can't fucking find his filmography. I just control F film on his page. I got like 300 results. I don't know what I was thinking. We need a shock proof like laptop case.
Yeah. The main thing for us guys when we're talking about the shock stuff with these stands is this is also our kitchen table.
Yeah.
And also we're not yet decided on like when we're having guests and how to like organize it. So it's like I totally understand the comments about it, but right now it's like, do we want to drill holes into this expensive table that we bought for the podcast when we don't know how everything's working just yet?
No, thank you.
Yeah, so that's why we're doing this.
There she be. Yeah, okay. Alice Through the Looking Glass was after Black Mass.
Okay.
And then Donald
like
Trump's
a year later?
Art of the Deal. Yeah, that was the
I heard that was just like fucking terrible.
Yeah, I did not hear good things about that. Murder on the Orient Express.
Oh, right. I heard that was just kind of bad, too.
I also heard that. Sherlock Gnomes, he was in that one, too.
Come on, man. Didn't we do a whole bit with an Uber driver about Sherlock Gnomes?
I remember that. We were like, he loved it, though.
Yeah, we were just goofing with him, and he started doing bits with us, too. That's my favorite, because, like, we'll joke around with Uber drivers and sometimes try and make them laugh, but, like, rarely do they join in on the bit. And that's always fun.
I love it when they do that.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, I like when if you joke around with any, like, stranger or anything like that, when they can just, like, do a bit back. It's just fun. Mm-hmm. It's a really, like, good way to just, like, start talking to somebody.
I'm looking here, because I kind of thought was, like, seeing the news about him lately, I thought it was like, oh, like, is he just done now? Are people not working with him? But in 2018, he has 4 movies.
What?
And, like, Sherlock Gnomes sucks ass, but, like, that's one of them. It's a big one.
It'll never beat Romeo and Juliet. It's just some sequels you just can't live up to the original, and that's one of them.
We were all thinking that, dude. Fantastic Beasts again too. Oh, dude, David Yates is directing Fantastic Beasts. He did the
first Fantastic Beasts as well.
Yeah. Oh, did he really?
Yeah.
Oh, great.
I'm not huge on Fantastic Beasts. I don't not like it. It's just like it doesn't feel like Harry Potter at all.
And Richard Says Goodbye in London Fields. Just some dumb little things like that.
Did you not see the first one?
No, I haven't seen it.
It's just, I don't know.
I don't want to.
Dude,
I'll see it, but like I don't have that
fine.
love for it.
It doesn't feel anything like that. Oh, well, I guess they're going back to Hogwarts. I don't want to spoil it for you, but there's one thing that I wanted to complain about. It's toward the ending, so I can't really. But it's just basically with Johnny Depp's character, like, it's just, they set up, Grindelwald from, like, the stuff before, obviously, they mention him. It's just, the way they're setting him up is just, like, not cool or threatening at all. It's just, I don't know.
Also, like, I wish they would have kind of not used, like, an enormous name actor for someone like that.
Honestly, because they shine more from being, like, I like villains not being huge actors.
Yeah, because I'm like, Johnny Depp looks kind of weird there. Like,
yeah, no, that's
especially Johnny
really what
Depp,
the first movie was. I'm not
where it's
kidding.
like, what costume is he wearing in this movie?
Yeah,
like,
and it became, like, kind of his thing where it's like, Johnny loves to be in costume, in a different costume. It's like, sometimes maybe just be a regular person.
You ever see him in interviews or whatever? He's just so uncomfortable, it seems like. I wonder if that's his whole thing. He sort of got that voice there.
Yeah, I wonder if he's just got, like, a tiny little pussy.
Probably does at some point.
Yeah, I guess so.
Do you think he pees out his balls like the rest of us?
Yeah, I think he stores his peas in his balls.
1 or 2 peas. Just like 2 peas in a ball. I've said it for years.
God, sometimes I have moments with this podcast where I'm like, man, people are wasting their time.
Who's like, do you have like a favorite actor or something?
When I think of that instantly, I usually think of Jake Gyllenhaal. I really like Gyllenhaal a lot. Yeah, it's just, I think Gyllenhaal and DiCaprio both have this kind of magic with them acting where It's weird because they play different characters, but there's almost like this feeling that each of them have separately that carries on into each movie they're doing when they're leading it. And I can't really explain what it is.
There's a magic to it.
Yeah.
And I think it helps that they pick such good projects.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, this is his project. Like, this is a special thing. You just buy into it more.
Exactly.
No, I realized that that like Jake Gyllenhaal has been in like some of my favorite movies ever. And Leo's probably the most prolific, like, in terms of the ratio from my favorite movies to his appearances. Like, he's probably the biggest in there.
Yeah.
Django Unchained is my favorite movie of all time. Probably will always be.
I just rewatched Django before Red Dead. Love it.
Oh, it's so goddamn good.
It's great. I can't wait to watch or rewatch The Hateful Eight when we're at the cabin because I haven't watched it since I saw it in theaters, and I remember loving it. So I can't wait. I love that guy. You know the dude that plays the racist in Hateful Eight?
He's got old guy. The really old dude?
No, he's younger. He's the like they're in the carriage with Sam Jackson in the beginning.
Oh,
he's got a weird actor name. He was in Vice Principals as well. Look up the IMDb for it. I'll do it because you don't have to hear the tapping.
Yeah, I almost want to do it for. He's in the carriage at the beginning.
Yeah, he's one of the main characters. I don't want to spoil the movie though.
Is it Walton Goggins?
I think so because he's got a weird name.
Who's also in Django for a tiny little bit? Like.
Oh yeah,
he goes, You're one lucky.
That
part.
Yeah, one of those.
I'll go dancing in the moonlight with you. He says that.
Yeah, when they're right before the dogs thing happens, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's him.
That's a rough scene.
That guy is so fucking talented.
Right?
He was in Vice Principals. Amazing. You have to watch Vice Principals, dude. It's only 2 seasons. It's so fucking good.
Okay.
I recommended it to John. He watched it and then rewatched it.
Mm-hmm.
It's great.
That's John Legend for our viewers at home.
Yeah, that's it.
Explain to our viewers at home who John Legend.
Yeah. So John Legend.
You can go again.
I fucked it. No, we don't have to edit it out. Just like maybe Tony, if you show Gus's face and then put my mouth over his, it'll look like he fucked it up.
I'm gonna sing All of Me. Or wait, Eddie, move your mouth out.
I just got deja vu for no reason. What's up?
Put my mouth on Eddie's mouth and it'll look like he's singing All of Me. What would
We're
I
asking
do?
too much. We're asking him to do too much.
Can you make this episode 3D?
Tony, be sure to cut out every breath or pause for the rest of the podcast.
That'd be good. You'd just be like, what did you think of the Caribbean?
Sorry. Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah.
I got it. What time are we at, by the way?
We're at an hour and 20 minutes.
Okay.
It's pretty good stuff.
We go till an hour 30, something like that.
that.
Like a little more. I'm enjoying this. I like us doing this a lot because it feels a lot like Okay, I'll Talk, which I liked a lot.
And I don't have to wait for the Skype delay.
Yeah.
Which is dank.
Some people will ask. Actually, I've gotten a good deal of DMs or emails about it. Like, hey, our old podcast, Okay, I'll Talk. They're like, well, I would still like to listen to it, but you guys took it off YouTube. Mm-hmm. It's still on SoundCloud. It's still on iTunes. I don't think it's on Spotify.
I don't think
but
so.
It's on SoundCloud and iTunes, so SoundCloud's accessible to everyone.
Yeah.
So if you do want to listen to those old episodes, they weren't video podcasts. You can go back and listen to those. They're still there with all those old bits.
Should we start doing some questions sometimes too when it's just you and me?
I would like to do those too. Yeah, because I want. So let's actually do that for the next episode.
Yeah.
So follow us on Twitter at Eddie Burback and at Gus Buckets. Just how they sound and how they look and other stuff.
They'll be in the description down below.
Buckets with an S, right? Not a Z. Okay. And then, just tweet us podcast. Or actually, we'll tweet out a prompt before, because I don't want ones all week where I can't keep track of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We'll tweet out before we film an episode.
With a hashtag on it or some shit.
Yeah. It's probably just, Gus Eddy.
Yeah. I fucking hate using hashtags unless they're ironic.
Yeah, but it helps they work for podcast stuff especially.
It helps to sort. What should our hashtag be? Like, wowee, I got a great podcast question for you, fellas. And here it is. I'm not done. Can I just finish?
Yeah, go ahead.
Here it is on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Here's my question, : and then the question.
See, what I was going to say when I was trying to talk in the middle there was that might be too long. And then you kept going. So
I did put the 2 colons on the end.
Those weren't the thing that made it too long.
You want a hyphen instead or like?
No, because that would just be taking away 2 symbols and adding 1 more. So my problem would be there would be 1 extra symbol in that hashtag.
I could change the wowee to like a wowza or a sham wow.
Wowza would be the same amount of letters. Sham wow is even more letters.
Well, no, because wowee initially has got about 6 E's on the end.
That's not true.
Yeah, wowee.
You didn't say it like that, though.
I just, in the interest of time.
In the interest of time of you making the long hashtag, you wanted to make wowee shorter for me.
I apologize for the second colon. I don't know what
you're being a real fucking dick about this second colon. Oh, man. I'm still playing Red Dead, but you know what happened? I want to mention this really quick. When you were all right,
Let's have some shit on
when
there.
you were back home,
Yep.
I wanted to work a little bit, and I wanted to play Red Dead, and I would, especially because I'm going home soon. You know, we're both doing like the holiday stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know, with our friends here, like I didn't want to attempt to start making plans and then like try and then like, oh, I can't do it this week. How about next week? And it's like I'm going home next week or a little more. So I just didn't make plans with anyone. So other than like buying stuff at Ralph's, I just didn't have a conversation with someone face to face in person for like 4 days.
Did you talk to yourself? I do that.
Yeah.
I
I
definitely
definitely
do that.
had phone calls with people, and I played video games like at night with like Jakey and Tony, and just to like keep sane. But yeah, during the day, I was just like, man, I haven't like sat down and face to face talked to somebody for a while.
Yeah.
You start to feel weird.
You start drawing faces on volleyballs and shit.
Yeah, that's what exactly. I did that first minute you were gone, actually.
Hey, little Gus, you want to play Blackout? I don't know, Eddie. I don't have hands. I can't play so good.
I wouldn't do that. It sounds too much
Not
like Adam
anyways.
Sandler. I would never plagiarize his.
Sandman, now that's too much.
I'm like, Gus, quiet down, little Gus. You watched Adam Sandler's special too long.
That's going to be our hashtag. I want, Sandman.
Oh,
now
God.
that's too far.
People are definitely going to tweet that at you. Oh,
No, I
man.
do that too. What kind of stuff do you like say to yourself when you're alone?
I just react to things. Like if I see something
Yeah, I do
dumb,
that too.
I'll just out loud to myself be like, well, that's fucking stupid. Or if I do something dumb, I'll be real hard on myself and like I'll just be like, you fucking idiot. Like if I drop something, but that's basically it.
Yeah, I
I'll
do
just-
that shit too. I'll just look around or whatever, like, I'll probably get another Coke or something. Where the fucking straw's at?
It's
Okay.
nice to hear a voice when you're not. Yeah.
Right?
I don't know. It's weird because I like again could have totally just like hit up one of our friends, like even Jamie, and just been like, hey, you want to hang out? But it wasn't enough to where it like really bothered me.
Mm-hmm.
But I couldn't. It got to the point where I had this weekend. I had this weekend that hit where the YouTube stuff has been great, so I've been kind of obsessed with checking the stats. And then I would really want to talk to people, so I couldn't fully dive into Red Dead, even though I kept trying. Because every time it would happen, it was like, I just want to have a phone call with somebody. I just need to talk to somebody right now. Not in like a weird, like a need help way, but just like I like talking to people.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was weird. And I feel like now, even just because you're back, I can get back into Red Dead again. Because it's weird diving into something when you have no one to like face to face talk to, and then just being in that world.
That is weird. And that's the kind of the problem. Like, I would have dove into Red Dead more, but I just think lately too, like, there's just so many things. I got to get my brain settled in to be like focus mode again, because it's like I get to the end of the night and it's like I'd rather be like, oh, I'm gonna play Black Ops, because then I can just be like, oh, I'm gaming for 5 minutes, and then be like, I'm gonna go get a drink, or like I gotta go tell Eddie something.
Yeah.
That's it. I gotta go listen through Eddie's door and hear if he's dressing or undressing, and just imagine what that would look or sound or feel like.
Sorry.
I gotta go look through. You can cut the breath out. Eddie's door and see if I can see anything through there,
So-
through the hole I drilled. Much like the hole I drilled in the cabinet to create a tension moment so we could bond together.
Is this a hashtag or is this a real thing you're saying? Did you drill a hole in my door? Why can't I see it? Where's the hole? Did you drill it? Did you think it was my door?
I knew it was your door.
Okay, but there's not. I'm looking at my door right
Was
now.
so-
Just looked at my door. There's no hole in the
It was
door.
really small. I patch it up with a little bit of plumber's putty every time.
So you drill a hole with you drill a small hole into my door, and I don't hear it ever.
Well,
and then
you
you
weren't-
cover it with putty, and
Yeah.
and it looks exactly like part of the door.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sometimes I'll like just kind of like pick the lock too and come in there. Like when you're sleeping, I just kind of watch and just make sure everything's
Well, that's
safe
fine.
and
That's
sound.
innocent. That's fine. You're just making sure I'm safe.
I would hope that you'd return the favor.
Oh, I
to me,
do.
so.
No, yeah, don't worry.
Okay.
We,
Sometimes
you gotta make sure each other's safe, but we gotta lock the door because that's also a safety issue.
that'd be bad.
I'm confident that if if the lock's getting picked, it's you,
Mm-hmm.
just to make sure I'm safe.
Just and you can't sneak up on me. You know I
Yeah.
carry, right?
Yeah. Okay. All right. Hey.
It's from
with
your
the memes,
video.
From the memes from the video. Okay. YouTube.com/Eddie Burback.
Okay,
No, I don't even think that actually is it.
No, mine is Gus Tunes. I think that was the old channel name.
I think you could change it. So maybe it is that. Let me check because there was a while where they like had it up to you could like apply for it if nobody had it, and I had my name from a separate account. So let's see if
Mine
it
has a
works.
long ass name on it or whatever.
I don't think it's gonna work.
I don't believe.
I think it's gonna be my old account that comes up. No, it is. That's cool. If you put in youtube.com/Eddie Burback, it's my channel.
Really?
Yeah. Cool.
I'm gonna try youtube.com/Gus Johnson. Gus Johnson.
Sorry, what did you say?
YouTube Johnson. Oh, I put an apostrophe on accident. We got a little monkey saying, "Uh-oh, fella, that's not what you're looking for."
That's a cute way. I love when companies get cute with me when something's not working.
Good luck on your journey, because this is not it. Nope, it's still there.
So Gus Tunes works, but not Gus Johnson?
I think so. Gus Tunes.
Dude, it's sometimes like I was making the thumbnail for the last episode we did. Mm-hmm. And it's annoying where I search Gus Johnson and it's like half images of you and half images of the other Gus Johnson, and it's like I just need a fucking clean photo here.
You should put the other Gus Johnson on one of the thumbnail episodes.
Yeah, we should do that. That'd be really funny.
I would love to have him on.
To ask him things. Yeah.
Dude, I'm so mad. His Twitter's been inactive since 2012. I want to do just a shitty meme where it's like I challenge him to something. Like, I'm fucking sick of sharing names with you. One of us gets to keep our name, and then, so we'll fight over it and just play some dumb stuff.
It'd be really funny if you lost. Yeah.
Yeah.
Challenging it, and then you lose your own name.
I'll be Eddie Johnson.
No. Everything will just become Eddie and Eddie for our branding of stuff.
And then, like, if, like, Sven ever, like, joined us on stuff, and then, like, there's another Sven Johnson, he would have to change his name to Eddie, or to Ed. It would be Ed, and
no.
Eddie.
Because then you would have to be another Ed. You have to be Double D Ed.
Hey, Double D.
I loved in that show that Eddie spelled his name with a Y, because it was, like, the only one that I'd seen other than my own name. Because every fucking teacher, rightfully so, was like, is it with an IE? And I was like, no, you stupid bitch. I am 8 years old, and I will fucking destroy you if you suggest that one more time.
You'd be in the beanie guy, the Eddie.
Hey, be in the who?
The Ed from the show, the one from the Ed and Eddie, the really nervous one with the beanie.
Double D.
Yeah. Is that who that is?
He doesn't sound like that exactly.
Because I know the other one's like, "Hey, Double D."
Yeah, he doesn't.
The other one's just like, "Gah!"
Yeah, that's Eddie. And then, Double D. I mean, he doesn't talk like that. That was like a weird, quiet Adam Sandler thing. It is. He is nervous though in it.
Sort of sounds like the kid from South Park with the crutches.
Jimmy. Yeah. Sounds. I don't like that. I don't like that lick you just did. And on that note, guys.
All right, let's get the heck out of here.
Let's get the fuck out of here. I'm not censoring anything on this podcast.
No rules.
No rules.
Well.
Oh, wait. Actually, I just remembered something.
What's that?
Ah, fuck. Sorry. Just only like that. And then Tony, and then it's also and that's what it would sound like when you close it out, Tony.